Hello, my name is Cactus con Carne. Welcome to my kitchen. Alright, so if you've ever been in the situation where you've had a potluck, you don't know what to bring, you don't know what to do, this is the easiest thing that I found. I do it all the time. It's hot spinach and artichoke dip. Come over here and we'll show you the product. Now, what you're going to need is 9 ounces of artichoke hearts, preferably frozen. I'm using canned because I can't get frozen. They're chopped. You want 5 ounces of spinach. Each one of these is luckily an ounce. I've weighed it just to make sure. You want half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes, and 1 ounce by weight Parmesan cheese, and an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese softened. As you can see, it's quite soft. All of this ingredients is going to be in the description, so if you didn't catch that, don't worry. So what you want to start with is you want to take your spinach and artichokes in a saucepan with 1 cup of water. Flick on your high heat and put them both in there. Let them get all nice and married. They're best friends in there. What you want to do is you want to heat it through, so until if you've got frozen artichokes, until the artichokes are thawed and the spinach is thawed, and heat it. Alright, so once it's all married together, nice and hot, you want to take a nice strainer and get as much of the water back out as you can. So squash this stuff as hard as you can, and be careful because it is obviously still hot. I'm just squishing it with the back of my spoon here to see if I can get a bunch of this water out. You can run cold water over it until it's easy enough to handle and just squeeze it with your hands. Alright, that's about as much water as I'm about to get out of it. So I'm going to take it now, transfer it to a little bowl. A little nice work bowl. Alright, so next step is to add all the rest of the ingredients to it. Get your cream cheese, get all that in there. Garlic powder, cheese, and the chili flakes. Now you do not have to add this. We'll make this hot, but it is very worth it. I love this dish with the heat, and if you put it in the fridge, you don't eat it all, which is highly unlikely. If you don't eat it all and you put it in the fridge, it gets hotter as the days go on. Just going to mix all these together. So once you've mixed it, you take it, or you leave it in this. That doesn't look too great. Transfer it to a nice container like this. Now, a nice silicone spatula to get all the way around those corners. Stick it all up in that vessel. There you have it. Hot spinach and artichoke dip. Now the best thing to serve this with is bread. You can take this in a nice container like this, or you can hollow out the sourdough, stick it in there like everybody else does for the parties. Or you can get a nice solid woven wheat cracker. These are my favorite. Nice solid woven wheat cracker. These are my favorite because they're salty and they hold up well in the dip. Now there's a secondary way to make this. I prefer it this way. It's a lot thicker. I just like the cream cheese. But you can also add a 1/4 cup of sour cream, a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, all to the ingredients at the last bit. And it'll thin it out, and it's just as good, but I like it this way. Alright guys, here we are back again in Kitchen Adjacent to do the number breakdown. Now, the cost to me, cost to you, so I used about $3 worth of cream cheese, which is an 8-ounce brick. I used about $3.30 of artichokes. Now I bought canned. I don't know what it was like to do frozen, because I can't get it, but that's 9 ounces. There's about 75 cents worth of spinach. It's not that expensive. That was 5 ounces. About $1 worth of Parmesan cheese from a block that I grated myself. Like I said, pennies on the red pepper flakes and garlic powder. I have that stuff just kicking around for spices anyways, but it's not very expensive. You can get a bag for $1 a piece. So all that said and done, it's about $8.25. Now, that's without the mayo and the sour cream. With the mayo and sour cream, you're probably looking at another $2-3 on top of that. Now, the closest thing that I could find to what I did was a little shop around here does it about 250 grams of this stuff for about $3.99. Now, I'm saying ounces, grams. What's the conversion, you say? Well, to get to where I am, I had about 23 ounces, or if you use the 1/4 cup of mayo and sour cream, gets you about 27 ounces. And with both of those, you need about 3 or 4 of the other one from the store, the pre-made stuff. So it gets you about $10. Whereas I made mine, for, like I said, for $8.25. Now, this was enough for maybe about 2 people. Max 2 people. I never make this little. It always goes so quickly. I usually double or triple the recipe. Sometimes quadruple, depending on who I'm feeding. And like I said, it just goes so quickly because it's so well loved. Now, the time breakdown, it took me about 10 minutes to do it all. It's not very much. It's just the heating of the spinach and the artichokes that takes the most time away from it. Like I said before, you could leave out the chili flakes if you don't want it as hot. You can also leave out the artichokes if you can't find those. I've done that before too. Just done straight up cream cheese and spinach, and that is, again, very good. Like I said before, you can thin it out with the mayo and sour cream. This is quite thick. I like it like that. It's a hearty cream cheese flavor, nice and smooth. This is a fan favorite of everybody who I've ever made it for. I do it for Christmas, I do it for barbecues, I do it for Thanksgiving, I do it for whenever I have company. Whenever I've invited anywhere and I need to bring something, I bring something like this. It's easy, it's cheap, it's well loved. If you try it, you'll love it. And that's it for me. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this as much as you can, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. As I said before, I don't know what I'm going to be cooking that time. If my wife has any say in it, it's probably going to be fish, so keep an eye out for that. We'll probably be doing some sort of something with fish. As I've said, I am Cactus Con Carne, and this has been Cactus Cooks. Now, if you've unfortunately eaten all of your dip before you get to the party, you can always just take this nice soup of, artichoke and spinach water and call it a fancy cold soup. I'm sure your guests will love it.